always wanted to do this. So hopefully everybody's ready. Can everybody hear me all right? This is super cool. First and foremost, thanks everybody for being here. Is this too loud? Too loud? Always too loud. But thanks everybody for being here. Those of you that have known me for a while and listened to my speech, I usually don't have notes, but this day is so important that I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I probably still will, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything to capture, the excitement of what this facility means in this historic occasion at App State. In terms of as we continue to build our national prominence, we're already nationally prominent. As we continue our national prominence, world-class facilities are crucial. They're crucial in the recruitment and development of elite athletes and coaches. And with that, I want to recognize our head football coach, Dowell Loggins. As we were recruiting Dowell Loggins, we'll give him a hand. As we were recruiting Dowell Loggins to come here, the Sofield indoor facility was a key piece of how we were able to attract him to come up to the high country. You have to have world-class facilities, and this was key. And as I look out here and see Missy and Jay Harrell, I want to thank you for the Harrell Center, because you would never know that the Harrell Center is the current indoor practice facility at App State right now, and Dowell uses it for walkthroughs. True multi-purpose facility, so thank you to the Harrells for the Harrell Center. Thank you. Getting to this day has been a process highlighted by everybody here. It has been amazing. I'm remembering back as I was thinking about my notes this morning, when Jonathan Reeder, Tommy Sofield, and myself met Roger Young with Looper down at Hickory for lunch back in 2021 and started conceptualizing a program. Roger, we can't thank you and Looper enough for everything you've done to get this process moving. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that some of us were asking, when it's going to be done, right? So you might get that question a few times today. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, so just know we're curious. McMillan, Paz, and Smith, and Kyle, thank you for everything you've done to keep this architecture working. A lot of these folks, we were just talking and we were conceptual. They were working for free, just kind of hanging out with us to see if this thing could come to fruition. So thank you, Kyle, for everything you all have done. Appreciate it. So as this process unfolded and we really tried to get this done, those of you that know we have Circle of Excellence calls, and our Circle of Excellence is our highest level of donors and friends that give to our program every year. And we had a Circle of Excellence call back in late 21, early 22, and I mentioned that this facility was kind of the next step in the maturation of what Appalachian really needed to be. The 60-yard facility was not going to make it happen as we continue to progress. And so I talked to the COE group about that, and I said, we really need an indoor. We really need a 130-yard indoor. And that's a group of about 60 or 70 people. And the very next morning, my phone rings, and it's Brad Adcock. And Brad said, hey, and I get a little emotional here, so I apologize. But Brad said, hey, listen, what do you guys need? I want to jump in, and I'm going to get other people to jump in. So that call at 8 o'clock in the morning from Brad Adcock really got this vision started. And Brandon, I can't thank you enough for being here to represent your dad and the Adcock family. Thank you very much. And I know that Brad's with us today, and he's smiling and he's saying, you counted the votes and you got the job done. So it's really important. And then I just tried to go through the progression. Then I headed down to see my good friend Mike Strickland down in Atlanta. Mike has been not only a star player on our football program, but he's been providing resources to this university for a long, long time. That's certainly marked by the Strickland weight room. And so as we were having that conversation, I said, Mike, we need you. And Mike's jumped in with 2 feet, said, let's go. We want to be part of this. We want App State to continue to have the best resources. And I can't tell you how thankful, Mike, it is to have your dad, Clyde, and Sandra here today with us. Clyde and Sandra have started the Mike Strickland Scholarship Endowment for Football, and thank you so much for doing that. That means a lot, not just for this facility, but also the endowment. So thank you all for being here. Then I was remembering a visit we had with the Hogues up in Winston-Salem, where Brett and Wendy and I, and we actually had a reporter there, and just to listen to the Hogue family talk about how much Appalachian means to them and their family, and then to actually say, by the way, it means so much we want to commit to this facility and this project. And then not only did that happen, but then we got Berkeley here. So now we got a whole family affair, but the Hogue family, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Gurney, Drew, John, Meredith. I know we just have Gurney and John today, but please pass our regards on to the bosses, right? I've been in their office, I don't know how many times over the last 5-6 years, and every time I'm in the office, the Longs say, what's going on up there? How can we be helpful? How do we help you? And as this project kept moving along, finally it was, okay, here's how you can help. Here's the number. And the Longs jumped right in and said, we want to be the best. So here is our commitment. And they've been committing all along, but then they said, let's go ahead and put this on steroids and let's get this facility moving. So John, Gurney, Drew, Meredith, thank you all for everything you've done for App State. When I first got here, we started our very first initiative was called Mountaineer Impact. And that was a $60 million initiative. We knocked that out in about 4 years, and now we're in the All for App initiative that's over $100 million. We're about $80 million raised thus far. But the very first person that jumped in for the Make an Impact initiative was Pat Swisher. And I still remember the day I met with Pat in my office. There's more, hang on, we're almost there. And I met with Pat in my office. I said, can you step up? And Suzette and I were there, and we asked you to do a Make an Impact. Well, that was so long ago that I went back to Pat with this facility and said, hey, why don't we just keep that thing rolling? And Pat kept it rolling, so I can't thank you and Laura enough for continuing to support us. So then we're kind of closing the funding model, and I meet with our good friend Governor Byers. And I said, Governor Byers, there's a couple things that need to happen here. And he's like, whatever you need, what do you need? I said, well, there's one thing I need is your vote. As a Board of Governor member, we're going to need your vote. And the second thing I need is your money. And so I said, it sure would look good, Governor Byers, on that sheet as it went to vote, if it said a major contributor to this program was somebody that's getting ready to vote on it. That's how much he believed in it. And Governor Byers, I can't thank you enough for stepping up and doing both of those things. Thank you very much. And then as you go to the Board of Governors, you actually need a leader, right? So they don't invite me. They invite the boss. The boss of bosses, as I affectionately call Chancellor Norris. The boss of bosses made sure that we had all of these funding and the model in place, and then we send the chief to go get the deal done. And I cannot thank Chancellor Norris for making sure we had our I's dotted and T's crossed, making sure the model was sound, and making sure we could get the deal done. And then the ultimate salesperson was the boss. So Chancellor Norris, cannot thank you enough for getting this across the finish line. Okay, then I'm going to revert back, because I wanted to be chronological, but I'm also going to introduce Tommy to talk a little bit about what the Sofield indoor facility means to him and his family. I remember we were sitting up there, and it was just Tommy and I, and we've obviously met a bunch of times in my 10 years, probably meet with Tommy and talk to Tommy as an advisor and confidant more than anybody that I do. And so we were in the room, and we're talking to Tommy, and I said, Tommy, we kind of need some help. He goes, well, I've already done that. And I'm like, yeah, we need some help. We need to do it again. And so Tommy and I had the conversation. We're talking about the vision. Obviously, as a former football player, he wants this place to be as successful as anybody here. And at the end of the meeting, it's like, whatever you need, we're going to get it done. We're going to provide the lead gift. And that, while I'm mentioning it last, that was really the catalyst with a lead gift to really start going to some other folks and say, could you jump in, because this thing is getting ready to go. So everybody that I mentioned, from starting with Brad Adcock to finishing with Tommy and everybody in between, was critical in making this happen. And this is, as you look at the landscape of college athletics, a 130-yard, state-of-the-art indoor facility puts us at a whole different level, puts them at a new level in terms of vision and how people see us. When they see this press conference today, they're going to know that we're serious about competing at the highest level of intercollegiate athletics. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to my good friend, and certainly one of the best friends Appalachian has in a lot of different ways, to talk a little bit, and that's Tommy Sofield. Thank you.
Wow, what a day it is today. And excuse me, I just want to start out by thanking our administration, Chancellor Norris, our athletic department, Doug, and their whole team. Like Doug was just explaining, it was a hard battle to try and get this worked out and get it done. There's a lot of moving parts that makes it happen, but they got in there and gritted it out the Appalachian way. And we just want to thank everybody for all they did. It wasn't just the Chancellor and Doug. there's a lot of team members on their team that went about it and really helped to get it done. Governor Byers, again, thank you for what you do down there at the Board of Governors for Appalachian and everything else. So we're just excited to have you around too. So thank you. I just want to say thank you to my wife. Wow. Well, without her, she's put up with me. We're almost 50 years now. We're high school sweethearts, and we've been through a lot. But my two children are here, Heather and Haley, my two daughters. My son wasn't able to make it, but I tell you what, as a family, we have a family business, and we've been able to work together as a family. So it's really special when you have family businesses like that. But we also have here with us today some of my management team, and we've got a lot of employees that have helped us over the years build our family businesses. And without these guys and without the Lord leading us to some of the best employees you could have, we wouldn't be standing here today. So I want to be able to thank them for what they do. And we've got guys that have been with us for 25 more years. And we also have a whole group of administration and employees that have been with us over 30 years. So we're really proud of what we do and how they've helped us get to where we're at. But like I say, without them here today, I wanted them to be part of this because we wouldn't be standing here. So thank you very much, guys. I was a 17-year-old kid living in Virginia Beach, and I got an offer to come to Appalachian and play football. And I sat there and thought to myself, well, I wouldn't have been able to go to college with it. My family couldn't afford it, so I had an opportunity to go play football and come up here to Appalachian. So I got in my little VW bus. It wasn't a bus, it was one of those little bugs. And I had about $50 in my pocket, and so here I come to Boone. And when I got here, I was fortunate. The whole world changed. We had coaches. We had really good coaches that were here that took us in. We had great professors, and we had great teammates. And building a team is so important, as we've talked about here, what we're able to even accomplish here. But that team effect that we had, the coaches really challenged you. And like I say, my world changed. I had to be on time. I had to learn how to do things right. I had to be accountable to my teammates. I had to learn how to give your all and not quit. Quitting is easy for people. And learning how not to quit and how to overcome adversity and stuff. Those are the type of things that you learn when you're out here in this new facility that these future student athletes are going to be able to have. And when they walk through that door, same as I did 50 years ago, they're going to have the same challenges. They're going to have to get up in the morning at 5 o'clock and be here and be responsible for their teammates that they're here with them. And they're going to have to get in here and grind, and they're going to have to get in here and work hard. But the biggest thing that Appalachian's done over the last 40 years, I think, is the statement we have: always give more than what's expected. And boy, that's the App way. Always give more than what's expected. Don't ever forget that, because that's a big part of what we do around here. So anyway, the opportunity I had, somebody invested in me. They saw me and said, hey, we want to invest in you and give you a scholarship. And that meant so much that it gives me the opportunity and my family to be able to give back now to these kids, or not kids, but student athletes that are going to be able to come through this new indoor facility here and be able to spend time making themselves better. And when they leave here 4 years later, they're not just good athletes and done good things. They're going to be good husbands. They're going to be good wives. They're going to be good moms and dads. And when they go out into the workforce, they're going to learn. And when they get out there, they're going to be the first person to go be in there at their job. They'll be the first person through the door. They'll be the last person to leave. And they'll work with their teammates to be able to grow whatever business they're in. And that's what you learn out here when you're grinding and working hard. And when these coaches are pushing you and making you go further than you ever thought you could go. So we're excited to be able to give them the opportunity to do that. And so it's just a blessing for us to be a part of this. And it's not just us. I want to just mention some other people here. Doug did a great job talking about all the other people that have helped on this project. Our donors are so special to this university. Right down below the hill down here, a couple of years ago, we ended up putting the end zone project in. Without our donors stepping up and helping, that never happens. Without our team of our administration in the athletic department, it never happens. So those are the type of things that it takes the whole team together to make happen. And we're just so excited to be able to be part of it. Now, you got two things happening. You're either going forward or you're going backwards in life. And over here at Appalachian, they're constantly grinding and going forward. And I can tell you right now, they got another project already in mind. We haven't even broke the ground here yet, and there's already another project that they're thinking about. And that project's right across the stadium over here. And Doug and the administration is talking about wanting to revamp the east side. There's a lot of maintenance needs to be done over there. There's a lot of new seats. There's opportunity for suites and different things. There's an opportunity to take the stadium and bring it in to a whole, so when you walk in the stadium, you'll be able to walk around the whole stadium and not have to leave to get out and go into other parts of the stadium. They're looking to put the best stadium in the United States for its size right across the hill here. So it is so exciting to be part of that. But I'm going to tell you, the guys who always do more than what's expected, our donors will be the ones that will make that happen if it happens, along with our administration, that will be able to pull it together. So we're just so excited to be able to be part of this, and just a small part. I mean, there's just so many people that do it. So we just want to thank everybody for what they do, and I can't wait. Someday our fans will be walking out of that new stadium, and they'll walk out, and we just got through winning the game on Saturday, and they're walking out and they'll be able to say, wow, isn't it great to be a Mountaineer? So thank you very much. Go Apps.
That's why I started, so I didn't have to follow that. Awesome, Tommy. A couple real quick things. I forgot to thank Bob and Luann Johnson, not here with us today. They stepped up and made a certainly significant commitment, as well as a lot of other donors. But I wanted to make sure that I mentioned them. And as I mentioned, we have so many of our coaches and administrators here today. This project helps everybody at Appalachian, certainly every one of our student athletes, every one of our coaches here. And as I've mentioned a number of times, we count wins and losses. That's kind of how we are judged. I tell you, the biggest win that this athletic department has had is when Chancellor Norris was named the chancellor of this university. So Chancellor, please come up and say a few words.
Yes, we certainly have a winning culture. Thank you, Doug, and thank you, Trustee Sofield and your entire family, for your long-standing and continued commitment to Appalachian State University and Mountaineer athletics. Many of you know Tommy Sofield is vice chair of our Board of Trustees, and his leadership on our board is just one of the many ways he serves our university and high country community. When he was a student here, he served as team captain of our 1975 Mountaineer football team, and he has been a leader and champion for App State ever since, unwaveringly. For his record of exceptional service, he earned the university's Outstanding Service Award in 2017. Tommy and Debbie Sofield are not just alumni. They are Mountaineers in every sense of the word, and their family members are following in their footsteps. 3 generations of the Sofield family are part of the Mountaineer family, who exemplify what it means to be a Mountaineer: kind, thoughtful, pragmatic, and resolved to give back to their community. We are grateful to Tommy, Debbie, and their family for taking the lead for the second time, and I think many more times than that. The second time here on this earth, in this space, and supporting a project that will enable App State to create an advanced training program for our athletics programs. This new 85,000 square foot building isn't just about the 100-yard long practice facility, although that makes a big difference. And it isn't just about ensuring App State athletics can train and practice regardless of the sometimes severe weather Boone may throw at them. It's a beautiful day today. It's also about adding to the App State experience, broadening possibilities for students, faculty, and staff to enhance their education and applied research and practice opportunities, while, and I think, Tommy, you said this best, preparing them for the workforce. The increased size of the new facility We'll expand the scope of our current programs, not only allowing the facility to be available for broader use across the university, but also to allow for public-private, healthcare, and other collaborations. Thank you again to the Sofield family. Thank you to our many former athletes, alumni, and other supporters who have joined the Sofield family, helping to make this project a reality. Thank you to the App State Board of Trustees and the UNC System Board of Governors for understanding the significance of this project's impact on student success and ensuring it and we can move forward. And thank you all for being here today to celebrate new beginnings and new possibilities for the future of App State and our athletics programs. Thank you all. And now for the really fun part. Trustee Sofield, would you, Debbie, Governor Byers, and all of our special guests please join Doug, Coach Loggins, and me in breaking ground on this project.